So there is one question from Yi Hong, and she's asked, what do you think of OZ opportunities in Texas, the opportunity zone opportunities in Texas?
I don't have a whole lot to say on that. I just I only want to speak to things I'm knowledgeable about. I'm not honestly super, yeah, I've read a few articles, talked to some people and all that, but um I think one thing that, for opportunity zones that a lot of people focus on the tax part. And does it look like a good opportunity? Is it going to make money? Or is it an opportunity zone where, yes, you don't have to pay taxes, but then you lose half your money, and is that a good deal? No. So I would really focus on what the opportunity looks like. I'm sure there are some great opportunities for OZ stuff in Texas. I'm just not super familiar with everything. So, but I again I would just focus on the investment. Does the investment make sense? If that checks your boxes, then okay, great. Yeah, I also get tax benefits. That's great too. So.
Right, right. Catherine has two questions. The first question she has is, what's the impact of property tax increases and insurance hikes to multifamily investment?
Yeah, we went into so we have a portfolio insurance. We got into a portfolio insurance program pretty recently. We saw probably, I don't know the exact number, but 30+% savings from that. Depends on the deal. Some of it was a lot better than that, but so probably 30 to 40%. So we've seen a pretty big drop in that. I think having newer properties helps. We do, a lot of times we're replacing the roof, so that helps a lot too. And then on as far as property taxes and all that, I think that is so we've seen rates actually come in, not a ton but a little bit, which does help. But honestly, because there's some deals that are really struggling, and rents have been flat, and honestly there's been some foreclosures and stuff like that, so property tax appraisal values have been declining. So that's only going to help our property tax situation. We do have some assets that are in a tax abatement program where our property taxes have basically been kind of wiped out. And then obviously that's a huge NOI boost, huge cash flow boost, and value boost as well.
Okay, the second question Catherine has is, any hard rules that you always follow or obey for your investment philosophy? Yeah, I like that question.
Yeah, yeah, the deals that really the location is the one thing we can't change.
Mhm.
You can't change your schools, can't change your neighbors and all that stuff. You can try to put all this money into a property, but if your neighbor next door is letting in, anyone they want to, then that could, present a problem. So the biggest thing really is getting that location kind of nailed down, and just trying to guard against that, because that's the one variable that once you pick that, you can't change.
Okay, location, location, location,
Yeah,
right?
it's just
Go
same thing
through,
as
talk
single
about it.
family.
Okay, last, it's about rent increases. So basically he wants to know, this year we would be able to still increase rent, and if so, at what percentage?
Yeah, our portfolios in Houston, we don't own anything in DFW right now, but yeah, in Houston, I think Houston will be a little ahead of DFW as far as rental increases and all that. It really depends on, it's very sub-market dependent, by the way. So if there's a lot of deals where there were a lot of developments, then that's going to take longer to see rent increases. But if there weren't a lot of if there weren't a lot of things going on, then or a lot of developments, then you're probably okay. I think RealPage and CoStar had a percent or two for last year, just kind of overall for each market. We maybe saw 1% in Houston. I think I can't remember I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think it's a few percent for this year for Probably 3-4% for Houston. We'll see. I'll have a better barometer on that probably in March or April. I think we
Mhm.
should be in a pretty good spot, but it's hard to tell. But we've heard I think it was 3 to 4%. I think DFW is a little behind that, so DFW is probably depends on the submarket, but two-ish, two maybe three. So, but North Dallas. Allen, McKinney, Frisco, they've built so much up there. I don't it might be a little bit longer up there.
Okay, so like what percentages do you typically use in your underwriting when it comes to projecting the rent increases?
Yeah, I mean I'd say, not a ton, 2% or so. I'd probably be on the more conservative side. I think you could argue, maybe 27, 28, kind of bumping that up a little bit, but yeah, I think just trying to be conservative and maybe 2% for next year. But again, that's very dependent on what pocket you're in. So
关注我，通过房地产实现财务自由。